What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kid Smooth back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about my impressions on the DualShock 4, the PlayStation 4's controller. Now, how can I say this? I'm so used to playing with an Xbox or Xbox 360, Xbox One controller. The layout is just like it's made for the hands. Now, I am familiar with the DualShock series from PlayStation 1 days and PlayStation 2. It completely skipped out on the PS3. Um, but what I can say about the DualShock 4, it is a great improvement from what I felt from the DualShock 3, and of course, the PlayStation 2's controller. It just seems more ready and more prepared for shooters. You know, it has a nice grip on it. The R1, R2 buttons are more like triggers, like how your Xbox controller is. It feels more natural for shooting, and it feels more like it's geared more for first-person shooters, more of a action controller, and that is prepared for that. So you can make a reasonable shooter for the PlayStation 4. As far as this thing, I don't know what it does except that it's very loud. Luckily, I can tell you this: I have not had any issues with the battery life on the PlayStation 4 controller. I don't know if it's because I haven't used it as much as I use my Xbox One controller, but I don't have a problem with it. And the light doesn't bother me at all either. It's just there. The only few issues I have with this controller is that one, the speakers are okay, but it's not really necessary. And this little button, this big button here, is almost pointless. I mean, I wish they would have just made the PlayStation Home button just bigger and put it there because a lot of games aren't going to use it. I think the game Infamous, which I'll give like a video impressions on that very soon, forces you to use it. I felt like they kind of just forced it in there just so you can have more use of the extra features of the PlayStation. So you, instead of hitting like triangle or circle, you hit this button to absorb powers in Infamous, and then they also put the motion thing back into it, which I don't think that was necessary either, because not many games are going to use it. But Infamous uses it when you have to spray paint and whatnot. I don't hear too many people talking about it, so I wanted to. I mean, those are nice features that are there, but they're not really necessary. It doesn't make or break. The controller is definitely much lighter than the Xbox One controller. Um, it is lighter. I prefer it a little bit heavier because I feel like if I rage, probably going to break it. Otherwise, it is a fine controller. It feels good in the hands, but I will complain about one thing. But this is not a knock against the DualShock 4 because it's a knock against every PlayStation controller ever made. The what you call the analogs at the bottom, I've never been a fan of. Only because I naturally has to have a hand on the analog, both fingers on at least on both the analogs at some point, and I don't like they can't be both at the bottom. Um, the Xbox and GameCube, I believe, had like with the analogs at the top and bottom, the diagonal fail, and it feels much better. And that, like I said, it's not a knock against the DualShock 4. It's just preference. I prefer the way how the Xbox and Dreamcast and I think GameCube had their controller set up. I'm just not a fan of the analog sticks at the bottom, and that's what's taking some getting used to. So I'm so used to playing with the Xbox controller that I play games. If I attempted to play the same game from the Xbox and the PlayStation, I would have trouble due to the analogs. Otherwise, the games I'm playing right now is Infamous. The game's okay. I'll give you guys my full impressions on that. I downloaded The Last of Us because it came with the PlayStation. Honestly, I haven't played it yet, and then the other free game, and then whatnot. So far, the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller, I have to give it a 7. It's decent. It's not bad. It is an improvement, but they did add some things that probably weren't necessary that they could have used on some other resources with the console. Speakers, not really necessary. This big button, not really necessary. And the light, I don't know. We'll see what it does in the future. But thank you guys for watching. For more videos, previews, or reviews, like, subscribe, share. As always, as Kid Smooth. And as I always say, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out.